Hello and welcome to Mindful Living, where we explore the art of living with the intention, balance, and inner peace. I am Avik, your host, guiding you through conversations on health, meditation, mental well being, mindfulness, and the mind body connection. Each episode features expert insights to help you grow, heal, and thrive. So, take a deep breath, relax, and join us on this journey to a more mindful and fulfilling life. So, let's get started.
Hello and welcome back, listeners, to the Mindful Living podcast, where we explore the art of living with intention and mindfulness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Sana, and today we are diving into a topic that's essential for anyone striving for success: the importance of prioritizing both mental and physical health to support yourself on your journey to success. Our guest today, Anna, is someone who truly embodies this balance. As a pharmacist since 2016, a certified holistic health coach, and a mindset mentor, Anna has experienced the highs and lows of professional life. After facing burnout herself, she has now turned her focus to helping others, prioritizing their well being while also pursuing their dreams. And through her podcast, in turn, she inspires and motivates listeners to take charge of their personal growth. And today, listeners, she'll be sharing her insights with all of us on how taking care of both mind and body can unlock the door to long lasting success. So let's get started, listeners. So, Anna, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute honor having you with us today.
Thank you, Sana. I'm so excited to be here on this podcast and share my experience with you.
Lovely. So, your career, starting from pharmacy to now a holistic health coaching, it's such a transformative and diverse career. So, what first led you to realize the importance of balancing mental and physical health in your personal journey?
Yeah, sure. So, like you mentioned, in 2016, that's where I started working as a pharmacist. It's actually a retail pharmacy here in New York City. And it's been very challenging for me because I worked a lot of hours, more than 40 hours, I would say almost 50 hours a week, every week. And eventually I started feeling very exhausted, very stressed and burnt out. And actually to the point where I experienced real pain in my back. And it took me some time to realize that my health is being in danger if I continue living the same type of lifestyle as I'm doing at the moment. It will become even worse. So pretty much, it kind of it forced me to look into what other ways of supporting my health can I be doing right now that will release that kind of tension and stress and pain in order for me to start feeling better, start feeling more joyful about life, more fulfilling, because I didn't really feel fulfilled, even though it's a good career to have. And I spent a lot of time studying for that degree, as we all go through similar type of like social conditioning and upbringing from our family. We always hear messages: you have to go to school, you have to finish a degree, and then start working, being employed by someone and just work basically for the rest of your life. So that's what I've heard. And this is the path that I've chosen, not because I wanted to, but because I was kind of like forced to do it in a way. Yeah. And then after realizing that it's not to my highest truth. It's not what I really want to do in my life. I started questioning myself and, like kind of figuring out what else could I be doing with the skills that I have. And, holistic health coaching just kind of like came across, and I started looking into what is required to get certified. And also I was really passionate about the idea of having different tools and practices that are not medication, that is not traditional medicine, that could help people to be supported in their health journey and feel better in their body, in their mind, and feel connected. So this is something that I started really creating for myself and building that knowledge, expertise in that area in order to show others that it is possible. Because of the healthcare professional that I am, I know both of the world that we live in, the medicinal world and the alternative medicine, so I know how we can really start that cycle of being addicted to a certain medication, because it's just being kind of like it's okay to prescribe certain medicine in our society without even like digging more into the cause of the issue. And it's been accepted by a lot of people in the society. That's why we just sometimes start taking medication without even knowing why we're taking it and what is the end goal. And in most cases, it's focused only on symptom relief. And as we all know, all of the medication also come with the side effects as well. So on top of that, we also treating the side effects of that medication. And it's like never ending cycle. And the big pharma wants you to be not cured of any condition because of the, perpetual cycle of getting more medication every single month. And with me being a pharmacist and consultant patient, I actually seen firsthand how people started, how they continued, and they really like addicted to certain medicine, and it's hard for them to break that cycle. And with me becoming a holistic health coach, I now want to really educate people and help them start a different route, start a different type of health journey, more holistic, more safe, more natural to their body. That is actually how it's supposed to be. We shouldn't like feel exhausted or force ourselves or feel like something that we're doing is not in alignment. It has to be natural. And medications at certain degree, maybe they could help if it's something like a life emergency. But in most cases, all of the chronic conditions, they develop because of the certain lifestyle that's been created that is not in alignment in the first place. And if we can address that from the beginning, if we can come back to our nature, then all of a sudden we will see changes in how we feel in our body.
That's first of all, thank you for sharing your journey, Anna. And secondly, it's actually, uh, a much better and responsible approach towards pharmacy. And secondly, not everyone's body is same. So what you have taken up, it's a responsibility, and I believe it's really really noble, because nobody wants to be stuck with medicine for their whole life,
Right.
especially the pharmacy. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much for sharing this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sure.
so when you realized that, you are going through burnout, especially uh, you were in a high pressure profession, pharmacy, and then you transformed. You made a choice, to take up something which is responsible, as well as where your skills can be leveraged in a better way, where you feel that you're fulfilling something really great for yourself and for others as well. How did prioritizing your own mental and physical health contribute to your success, both professionally as well as personally?
Yeah, sure. So the really finding the balance, the harmony in all of prioritizing health and well-being, physical, emotional, and mental health, all comes back to, you just mentioned it, the responsibility, having a choice. And a lot of times we don't take that responsibility. A lot of times we see people feeling victimized in their own mind, and it's just the position that they choose to be in order to not take responsibility. It's easier for a lot of people to say, I'm feeling this way, or I'm doing this because of certain person or certain circumstance or event, or they put in that responsibility on something outside of themselves, something external, where the truth is that it's just the position that they chose to be in because they're not ready for change. People who are ready for change and who are ready to prioritize their well-being, they will first take that responsibility. So they would stop and they look around and they would ask themselves the question, am I satisfied with what I have right now in my life? Do I feel good in my body? Do I want to continue feeling the way I feel right now? Do I have what I want? Do I really focus my attention and make time for something that I love doing? So if the answer to all of those questions is no, and you don't really at the place where you want to be, it has to be some kind of change integrated in your life. And you are the person that are responsible to make that change for yourself. Because so far, what you have in your life, it's because of the your own choices that you made in the past. And this is just a result of what you're having. And it's not saying it's good or bad. It's just what it is, right? And if you can just accept that as a fact that you created all of that, you are also the person who can change that for yourself, and with that understanding, that's where it begins. That's called self-awareness. You have to become aware first of what is it that you are responsible for in changing in your life. And then next step would be making a decision. Are you really ready for change? If yes, you have to stay committed to your decision, because it will not be overnight. It will take some time, but as long as you are committed every day to prioritize your well-being and to make time for what it is important for you, then you will see change starting reflecting in your life over time. It may take maybe 3 months for one person, 6 months for another person, but eventually you will see how the way you feel within yourself is gonna start getting better and improve. And as a result of that, you will see that reflection on outside, because everything is outside. It's the reflection of the inside, not the other way around. And again, with us starting prioritizing that every single day, then we know that we are important. We have to know that something that we're doing for ourselves is essential. It's not a luxury to self care, it's an essential practice that we have to integrate in our lifestyle and really make time for it on a daily basis. And this is something I feel like we have to start thinking about and really, kind of like realize that nobody will come save us. Nothing will change. I'm the one who's going to do it for myself, and I'm ready for it. And
Mhm.
I will do what it takes. And usually, you take step by step. In my journey, what helped me in the beginning is meditation. Simple tool is that it's available to every one of us, and even free videos online with a guided meditation. So everybody could start from a certain point where they will eventually, kind of like see something unfolding further and further along the way, but they have to start somewhere. And whatever works for them, and first, it should be something that will help you release something that's going on in your reality right now that's making you stressful and exhausted and anxious. You have to calm your nervous system. You have to release that tension, that stress with the tools that are available for you.
Mhm.
And I feel like meditation is a great tool, and it's not only helping me because I'm doing it on a daily basis, every single day, at least half an hour. I'm
Mhm.
doing that, and I see incredible benefits that comes with that. And releasing that tension and stress and calming your nervous system, starting feeling that peace within yourself, and really like releasing the anxious thoughts and worries. That's the first step that you need to kind of like get into in order to start see more clearly what is the actual, what is it that you want to create in life. But you have to come to this place where you see things clearly, and you have to release the stress in your body. You have to calm your nervous system, and then next thing will be focusing on what's important.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But others, I'm not sure, but let's just assume that uh, many would suggest that focusing too much on personal well being can make people less driven and less competitive, or maybe a little bit laid back. Do you think there's ever a risk of over prioritizing health at the expense of achieving goals?
Actually, it's the other way around. The way I see it, I know how what you mentioned could be the belief in the society, but it's not necessarily true what people believe in, because the more you focus on health, the more you are at this state of flow. I would say state of flow, state of genius. And that's what you can achieve with first releasing that stress. And when you are at your peak performance, that could only be achieved when you feel relaxed in your body, but mentally alert. You have to be physically relaxed and mentally alert at the same time. When you can achieve that, then you can be at your peak performance, and your daily task would be so much easier and with less effort that you would actually require. On the opposite, when you exert so much energy and you're trying to be competitive and trying at all cost, even at your health cost, that's when you feel burnout. And you wouldn't feel burnout when you are utilizing energy from a different place where you have that access from a flow state. And that's when you don't feel, anything that kind of like making you feel like you're forcing yourself. You just feel you're doing it like easily, it's flowing through you, and you are getting inspired. That's what it actually is. When you in alignment with your true self, let's say that, in your mind, you feel like you're getting inspired all the time. Ideas come to you. Energy is just at your highest peak, like you feel you can do anything, where you wouldn't feel that maybe a year ago, being working for somebody that, doing the job that you hated, let's say. And now, like, if you're doing something for your own good and for good of other people, you're serving somebody, and this is something that brings you fulfillment and joy. It's just doesn't feel like work. That's what it is. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like you are enjoying what you're doing every day. You're excited to wake up. You can't wait to work on the project, and you have so much energy and time, and you're being more efficient in what you're doing, and you're receiving the ideas of inspiration and creativity, and you feel good. This is what it is. You have to feel good, and again, like everybody has the capacity to come to this place. It's just a matter of first being aware that you are responsible, and second step is to do something about it.
That makes sense. Uh, and in your podcast, in turn, you talk a lot about the power of mindset. How do you
Mhm.
see mindset and mental health playing into someone's ability to succeed?
Yes, in my podcast, I started actually 2 years ago, and that was my creative project that I got inspired to do because of the place that I'm talking right now, this flow state. I had this idea that I could also bring in, the conversation of with people that achieved certain success in life, and now they live in their dream, and how they did that, and what are the tools and practices that they use. And a lot of people would be, excited to hear those stories, to see themselves in those stories, in order for them to become empowered, to become motivated, to start doing something in their life, because they see it's possible. With more cases of people we know around us that, had certain breakthroughs in their life, we know we also are capable of doing that. And to answer your question, mental health, and that's something that we usually overlook. We mostly focusing on physical health because it's kind of like in our attention every day, the way we feel in our body. If it feels good, if it doesn't, then we kind of pay attention to it. But mental health we overlook because it's not something tangible. It's something that we don't prioritize enough. But the thing is, it's actually very connected to the physical health and also emotional health as well. So, mental health usually is about the way we choose to treat ourselves in our own mind, the way we talk to ourselves on a daily basis, voices that we hear in our head that usually come from the beliefs that we have about ourselves, about what we think we deserve in life, what we think is our worthiness in life. And everybody, a lot of people that I talk to, the clients and interviews that I had on my podcast, everybody is struggling with that in one way or another. And that's the thing. We have to really normalize the conversations and talk more and speak up about the way we are dealing with that. Because if everybody is struggling with that, if that's something we know we deal on a daily basis, we have to just start talking about it. And it is normal to have this kind of, first, you don't really understand that this is something that's coming from your own beliefs. First, you think like, this is just how it is. This is how I live my life. This is how I've been taught. And then once you have this self-awareness, you start really noticing. You start noticing the thoughts that you have on the loop. It creates pattern. All those thoughts that's coming into your mind, it creates certain pattern that you choose to buy into because of again of experiences that you had in the past. And it's just perpetuate itself unless you catch it. First, you have to catch it that and really like name it as a pattern. Once you know it's a pattern, you can interrupt it. And if the pattern is interrupted, then you can really release that belief. It's no longer serving you at this moment. And you can choose to start, making different type of supporting thoughts and beliefs that will help you to succeed in life. And everything is a choice, even the choice of allowing yourself think something that you want to think. It's a choice, and we don't have to take it as is, and we don't have to continue living as we used to live, because again, it could be changed. That's something people don't realize. And they usually compare themselves to, we now have social media. You see stories of successful people and you think they have something that you don't have, that they in some kind of way special. But we all have the ability to have success in life. Maybe for you it would be different than for the other person, but it all comes back to the mindset and mental health, because that what will support you to have the long lasting success, because otherwise you would sabotage yourself. If you believe that you don't deserve to have something in life, you would never take any action towards achieving that goal. But if that was the opposite, if you really start taking small steps and showing yourself the evidence that you can do it, and it will reinforce the new belief within you that yes, if I did this, what else can I do? Let me try something even more than that. And then you again reinforce it. So every belief has to be reinforced through action, right? So you have to show yourself an evidence that you can do it. But it has to first start with willingness to take action. And the motivation behind it is the reason why you're doing that. It has to be why strong enough for you to push yourself forward. And usually it comes back to the mindset and again, reminding yourself all the time. maybe some people need to start, with some kind of affirmation, every single day, reminding yourself that you are worthy, that you can do it, that you believe in yourself. And then, like, you have to really have a plan. You have to know where you're going, because without any type of like compass in your life, without end goal, you don't know what to do. Like, you have to tap into what is it that brings you joy. What would you like to do? Where you see yourself in, let's say, 5 years? What would be your ideal day? How would you do? Um, maybe you can start something new, right? Any business, hobby, what inspires you? So, and that would be the next step, is knowing where you're going, and always reminding yourself that, again, you can achieve something, but I have to start. I have to first take that first step, and don't overwhelm yourself. Only focus on what's next, because sometimes we don't know the whole plan. We think we do, and we overwhelm ourselves with even starting in the beginning, because we think it will take so much from us. It will be so exhausting, but in the reality, it may not be. But the only thing you need to know, what can I do today? What can I do now? What will bring me a little closer to where I'm going? And that's where you should focus on. And everybody can do that.
Very rightfully said. What a conclusion, Hannah. And finally, if our listeners want to connect with you or tune into your podcast in turn, or seek some wisdom about how to balance physical and mental health, how they can do that.
Yeah, sure. You can find me on Instagram. My personal is A like Apple, Brook, Brook, and there's 1111. That's my personal handle. But if you want to follow podcast, it's Intern Podcast. That's the handle for Instagram. INTURN podcast. And also there's the same handle on YouTube as well. You can see video episode recordings on my YouTube channel. It's Intern Podcast, and I would like to connect with you. And if you can just, share something that you would love me to give you the insight on, or just subscribe to my channel and see what you can tune in, and that would resonate with you.
Lovely, lovely. We'll have all the details mentioned in the show notes. And Anna, thank you so much for sharing your journey as well as your profound wisdom with us today. And it's evident that prioritizing both mental and physical health is not just an option, but I believe it's a necessity for long term success. So,
Yes.
no doubt your journey and insights have inspired our listeners to make their well being a priority as they chase their own dreams. So, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Sana. And it was an absolute pleasure to be on your podcast. And I hope everybody will really, kind of like embrace that idea of having their health a priority and start making changes towards that. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Lovely. And for our listeners, be sure to check out the show notes along with this episode on your favorite podcast platform to connect with Anna Brook or listen to her podcast for more motivational content and tips on personal growth. And as always, thank you to everyone for tuning into the Mindful Living podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us. Leave us a review. Let us know how we are doing, and join us next time as we continue exploring ways to live mindfully and successfully. This is your host, Sana, signing off.